In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the assignment grading feature in Moodle using the simple direct grading method. I'm going to do another video showing you how to use the marking guide. But first I want to click on this example, and I'm taking to the grading summary screen, and I see that there's 2 students that have submitted their work and 1 needs grading. So I'm going to click grade. Now this student did not submit anything, and so if you want to, you can go ahead and give this student a 0. You can see over here it says there's no attempt on the submission. Time is overdue by 28 days. And so I'm just going to go ahead and put a 0 in there. And under the feedback comments, this is what the student sees in the gradebook. This comments section up here is comments that the student was able to leave when they submitted their file. So typically this is going to be empty, but this is where you would want to put your feedback comments and just say no submission, and you can click save and show next. You're given a little update dialog box there. This student didn't submit anything either, and I could do the same thing, but just for time's sake I'm going to show you some other features. So if I want to go to the students, maybe you sat down to grade for maybe 30 minutes or an hour, and you got some of the assignments graded, but you didn't get all of them. And so if you wanted to go straight to the ones that required grading, you would go up into this box over here, and you can actually search by user or drop down. But I'm going to use this little filter feature, and I'm going to tick requires grading. And you'll notice that now I only have, it says 1 of 1. So there's only 1 student that has a submission that has not been graded. Now, of course, in Moodle, you want to go in and give 0s to every person that hasn't submitted anything if you're ready to give them a 0. But here I can see, of course, the submission status. Assignment was submitted early, the name of the submission, and there were no comments left by the student. And you can see there's no grade currently. And here are the feedback comments that I can leave for the student. But I'm going to try to focus on some of these features up here that you're not as familiar with. So the first thing is, this is the default view, and you can change your view down here. But on the left, you kind of have the preview pane, which previews the file that's been submitted, or the online text if you had that enabled. And so on the right, you have kind of the grading pane. So kind of the preview pane, the paper pane, and the grading pane. So if you just want to, if you click this will collapse the review panel. So then this may be what you use at the end. This may be what you use while you're grading specifically. So if you're giving feedback, you may want to use this view over here. And so, for instance, let's just look at some of these features. Say this is kind of your navigation. You can click on this and go to any page that you want to, or you can click the arrows. Over here you can maybe there's a stamp feature. So if I want to give a check mark, I could, if this was in the right format, I could just do this as I went along and say, hey, these things look good. And then I can go to the next page, which is blank here. But if I go to the first page of text, I can say, okay, this looks good. That puts a stamp there. And I can use a different stamp if I change this right here. I can go to the X if I want to do that. If I want to leave comments, I would click this right here, and I can choose my comment color box. So maybe if you wanted to do something with grammar, you could use the yellow, or something with content, you could use the red. That's just up to you. But maybe I leave a comment here and say great introduction. I click off of it, and then that saves the comment, and then it collapses that into a little symbol. And so you can scroll down. You can change if you're scrolling with the comment selected. If you accidentally click something, then it's going to want to leave a comment. So you can use this to just kind of drag the screen and move the screen without fear of accidentally clicking something. And so maybe I go down here and I want to circle something, or this is the pen that I can use freehand, so I can do something like that. But of course I don't want to do that. So if I want to undo that, I would click this to select and click that and delete it. And that will work for any kind of symbol that you have, or anything that you've inserted into this pane. This is a line, so if you wanted to draw like a straight line, then you could do that. But of course, if I want to go back and delete it, I can do that. I can click this and delete. If I want to highlight or draw a box, here's a rectangle. If I just wanted to draw this, I can do that, and I can change the color. I can change over here. I can draw a different box. Maybe I like that. I want to go to the next page. I can leave another comment or something. I can draw with a circle and change the color to yellow. So these are just a few of the features as you're going through a paper. You can use these features to mark up that preview, that paper. And so now that I'm just going to pretend that I'm done. So I'm going to go back to the default layout, and now you'll see that this review panel pops back up. Or if you're completely done and you kind of know what you want to say, you can go ahead and click this view, and then that will kind of collapse that preview panel. And so now you can just go in here and give a good grade, and you can leave any comments. This is what shows up in the grade book right here, beside the student's grade. And so once you're done with that, just click Save Changes, or save and go to and show next if you wanted to do that. And now I can go to this assignment, and then you'll notice that needs grading is now 0. So I can go into my grades and go to grader report, which is the default. And if I scroll over, you will see that grade that I entered in for Matt Test. If I click on go back to grades and user report and choose that student, Matt Test, then you will see there's the grade, assignment grading example, and then there's the feedback that I left. This is what shows up in the grade book for the students to view. Really quick, I wanted to show you what this looks like from the student's perspective. So as you can see, I'm logged in as Matt Test. And so when that student scrolls down, they can click on, they can download the annotated PDF, or they can just click on this, and if they're using Chrome, it should work fine, I would think. And now you can see what the student sees. They see exactly what I just did as the instructor. And so using these features in Moodle with the assignment marking and grading, you can really give your students some good feedback. So this is a quick overview of how to use some of the features in Moodle in the assignment grading with the simple direct grading. And in a future video, I'm going to do a quick overview of how to use the marking guide, which is a new feature, and I think you're really going to like it.